All
As long as my dogs cooperate, we'll be good.
Yeah, I think I got mine in the other room, and they're both chilling today, so hopefully they'll be quiet.
Take a chicken over. Hold on, let me get it away from her. You give me that, baby. I'll give it back later.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
All right, I'm ready. I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Rock Paper Podcast. My name is Shane Presley. Joining me today, my good buddy, Joe Burrow. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is first, man. I've done the show a bunch, but this is the first time I've recorded one digitally over Zoom like this. So this is a whole new experience.
Well, I'm going to learn from you. I'm going to let you make all the mistakes.
I'm actually quite nervous about it. Actually, to be honest, I haven't been nervous to do a show in a while, but this is all new technology to me.
I got you.
But yeah, man, I just thought this would be fun. I mean, we haven't really, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen you at all, but everything, we're all in lockdown and stuff. So nothing really going on. So I thought this would be fun to at least be able to see you and hear you.
Yeah, you look beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I actually cleaned up for this, so I thought I'd might as well take a shower so I'd look good on camera.
Well, I've got on my Rock Paper Podcast shirt that you delivered to me yesterday. Yeah. But I got to ask you, though, man. You know I love you, right?
Right.
You know I absolutely love you, but I got to ask you, was it planned to have, there's one nipple and there's the other nipple?
Oh, yeah. That one's a little crooked, huh?
Yeah, but that makes it rare. So I've got a collector's item right here.
There you go. Yeah, that's the first I've noticed that, and I don't know what happened on that one. Yeah, it's a limited edition now.
It's a limited edition. I got the only one like this.
I got.
Hey, look at you!
I got to represent also.
Oh yeah, you're an outlaw biker.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad you pointed that out. So now I'll have to check the others. Nobody else has said anything, so maybe you got the one of a kind.
That's it. You know what's funny is Robbie Calorie from Ink Spot. He's a friend of mine, and he did a bunch of shirts. I think it was last summer, and they had Hustle and had his little logo and everything on them. And I got a shirt from him. I got it home and put it on, and it was the same thing. It was all over this way. So I don't know. Everybody gives me the bottom of the barrel, I guess.
Maybe your nipples are just weird.
You know what that might be? They're crooked. I got crooked nipple. What a way to start the show.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, man, I also wanted to kind of talk about since we've really last hung out, you've started a brand new adventure. So I wanted to talk about that with you. And so you just recently entered the podcast world, and I'm guessing you're calling it a podcast. You're doing it on video also, so I guess it's a video podcast, which is pretty common these days. And you we got episode 1 out there with Big Dave Kanoy, so which I listened to and really enjoyed. Which
thanks. Even though the audio was garbage.
Man, I listened back to episode 1 of this show, and I cringe. I mean, it was fun. We had a good time doing it, but man, I learned a lot along the way, and that's what is most exciting about the journey is just making that first step to buy a mic and give it a shot and press record and not being afraid to give it a chance.
Right. Well, excuse me. I had been thinking, it's called Crushercast, Ordinary People, Inspired Lives. I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. I work third shift, and at the time I worked third shift, so I was in my head a lot, just me and my brain while I was running the machine, and kept coming to me that I needed to do this, and so I kind of started putting pieces together, and then all the fear got jumped in there, like, what if it sucks, or what if it, it looks good on paper, but then when I put it out there, it looks like garbage, and I don't know what I'm doing with podcast stuff. I just know what I know from, watching you do it and some of the other people. And I've got, I'd have to say, like Joe Rogan and Mark Maron, those guys are my favorites. I know it's the popular thing, they're some of the more popular ones, but the way they handle their business, you can see the growth in their shows and stuff like that. I really like the way they do it. So I don't necessarily want to do the content they're doing, but
you're not going to be doing any DMT?
No. I thought about, what's that, ayahuasca?
Yeah.
I thought about maybe doing that sometime in my life, but I don't know. I guess I've already shot past that one. But it just, I got over the fear and what I had to do. I kept putting off doing it. I asked Dave almost a year ago, maybe 9 months ago, something like that, if he'd do it. He's like, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. You just tell me when. So then I got a hold of him and gave him all the info, but didn't give him a date because I was scared. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. And then a friend of mine said, just make yourself accountable and just set a date. Then you got to do it. So to that person, I told him, I said, by the end of January, I'll have my first episode recorded. And I missed it by a week. So Dave and I recorded the following week, the first week of February. And so then my juices were flowing. I was like, this is cool. I see my mistakes. I know what gear I got to get to upgrade. And then the virus hit. And I asked a bunch of people, and the thing with the podcast I want to do, or video podcast or whatever, is I want the intimate one-on-one in a room together, actual same room, doing an interview, because some of the stuff people are going to be talking about is pretty intimate to them,
right.
And I want that eye to eye, just like it's just two people sitting in a room talking. Excuse me. And I got a bunch of commitments right out of the gate that surprised me, people that I really wanted to interview. I got a bunch of commitments, and then this coronavirus shut everything down. And so I just kind of put it on back burner, and not back burner. It's still there. I've done a few little weekly just check-ins, just me ideas. Matter of fact, I'm going to record one tonight, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be there. It'll be there when all this is done, and we'll have more to talk about,
Yeah.
So,
I can relate a lot to that. It's a lot of, something I started listening to a bunch back in the day, and always had this idea, and it took my buddy Chris kind of getting this thing started for me. So, I thank him a lot for helping, get it, ignite the fire. And then after he kind of taught me the ways and stepped away, I, took it on by myself and trying to make something of this thing. So,
well, dude, you're setting the bar here in town. Let me tell you.
I'm trying to just do something cool, man. Make a difference. And, but I have a ton of fun doing my show, and I'm sure you, once you get back to it, you're going to feel the same way. And, I really enjoyed it with Dave. Dave's just one of a kind, man. Just a great guy, and super willing to support anybody doing something great like that. So he's definitely a friend of my show. And I know even early on with the block party stuff, I'm just a fan, and I had a camera. It was, just a little point and shoot, but he was gave me a whatever, pass, pit pass or whatever, so I could go into the photo pit and take, photos or whatever. And I'm just he didn't have to do that, but he, knew I was a fan and wanted to help, so I thought that was super cool of him. And, and little moments like that, little things, along the way that makes you, never forget, something like that. So
yeah, he's one of a kind. Is that's an understatement. I mean, seems like everywhere he goes, somebody knows him and somebody wants to be around him, or he's affected somebody.
Yeah,
and that's kind of people like him. I mean, Dave's kind of a larger than life example of ordinary people leading inspired lives. But like I've got five people committed now to do the podcast when all this stuff gets done. We just got to get scheduling worked out and stuff. Mm-hmm. And some of them are people that you get around Dave, you got to look at Dave and go, well, what's up with this dude? You know what I mean? He's a 6-foot-something biker, usually got his coveralls on, so you take note of him anyways. But a lot of these people, they're just people that could be standing right next to you, and you don't know the impact they're having on your community. You have no idea, or the things that they've been through. And so that's kind of what I want to base it around, and the direction I want to go with it.
Yeah. And I like that you said that you prefer to have the, in the same room, the one-on-one conversations, because that's same thing with me. That's I think that's a lot of why I held off on doing this. I know a lot of people have already been doing Zooms for quite a while like this. And, it was just me. There's sort of a connection that happens just being next to somebody talking and having, getting to share those stories, and especially something, incredibly personal and stuff that might come out on your show. And, so I agree with you. Like, I've just much always preferred being, recording live in person and stuff. So even if it's just sitting with 4 dudes in the basement at band practice or something, that's always
right.
Something magical happens in that than compared to, trying to record over the internet and stuff. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, even, just like what we're doing, I mean, this is cool and this is keeping us connected. And, I mean, we're doing Zoom. I've got a group of people that I grew up with in my neighborhood. We all do a Zoom every week or a Skype, just to connect and see each other's faces and stuff like that. And then I've got some other things that I do recovery wise, that we do Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And everybody's doing it, but man, I can't wait to get around. Like Randy and I got together last night at our rehearsal place, and we had some business stuff to go over and for the band and some stuff direction wise for the band for this year, because the whole year is kind of what are we going to do now, And so we got together and just brought the acoustics and hung out and did a little video of a song, a cover song. And but it was so good to be in the same room with him, and just talk, just bullshit, and drink way too many monsters and, So that personal thing.
You can find all things Crushercast on Facebook and Instagram. And I guess, do you have them up on the video and stuff on YouTube or anything else?
Yep. We've got a YouTube channel. Just look up Crushercast, all one word. It'll pop up there. We're on the audio for episode 1 is on, I use Podbean. So, and they get me out everywhere. And the only one I had trouble with was Apple Music. So I'm still not up there. But I don't think that I'll be putting the micro pods that I've been doing, like the little weekly check-ins. Those will only be on YouTube and Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then once we start doing the big interviews again, those will be, because I saw one of my flaws when I put the first one up there, because I just took the audio straight off my video podcast and threw it up there. Then I realized I didn't have no bumpers. I didn't have anything. You know what I mean? I had it all set up for video, but the audio, there's nothing going Crushercast or anything. You know what I mean? So I got to give me a theme song. Maybe you can hook me up.
Man, I went, so the one that you've heard forever that was on there, that was me on the microphone, and then Chris put some kind of beat to it, and it worked for 5 years or whatever. More
Dub did yours now.
Yeah, and then I reached out to my buddy Dub Flo, and he cut the new one, and it's incredible. I love it. And Michael Bivens created the beat for it, and so I love it. It was fun, man. I kind of like just gave him free range to do whatever he wanted to do, and he came back with that, and when the line when he says double decker fudge round rolling around town, like I just lost it, and like because that was just
perfect though.
It was something good. You know, I posted about double decker fudge rounds a couple of times, but it was like I never imagined it would make my theme song for the show. So that's what made me laugh, and that's when I started kind of running with it, making those like Little Debbie's pictures and stuff, and So now when we do an interview with you moving forward, we know if we want you just to throw us some little softballs and go easy on us in the interview, we got to bring you double decker fudge rounds, right? That's all it'll take. Yeah. But yeah, I keep hoping maybe I talk about them enough. Maybe I'll get some sort of endorsement deal. So.
Right. I watched you guys on Gabe's podcast.
Yeah.
And that looked like that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he wants me involved in some sort of reoccurring co-host or whatever, and so I'm down for the ride. I'm glad he took, just like you, I'm glad he took this leap and made it happen. And again, he's a guy that was talking about doing it forever, and finally, went down and did it. And so we had a lot of fun recording that one that night. And again,
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah. I if you haven't watched that, check that out. The Stone Dog Show, available now on YouTube, and he made an announcement today actually that will be available on Beyond FM. So that's exciting that he's partnered up with them, and
that's awesome.
But yeah, I highly encourage you to check out the video. I decided to have fun with it and get dressed up, and so go in character. So
yeah.
So big shout out to my buddy Gabe Stroop over there at the Stone Dog Show.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, let's. You mentioned Randy in the band. Let's kind of talk about this. I know everything's kind of on hold, but obviously this is a great time to be writing and gearing up for what's next for the band. So I'm guessing. Let's talk about the state of Divide the Empire. What is going on with you guys?
Well, we're in our 8th, going on 9th year of being a band. Had some lineup changes over the last couple of years, which led to some changes in our processes of writing and getting settled in and getting chemistry built with the new guys and stuff. And we really thought this year we was going to come out stomping mud holes, and really become, knocking some doors down. And we've made some great connections over the last 3 or 4 years. Excuse me. Right now, where we sit right now, we went in beginning of last year, I think, and we recorded 4 songs. Coffee Burns, which is already out. Visions, which we did a video with Juan and put out, and got great response from that one. Overwhelming response.
Cut away together.
And then we're getting ready to put out a song this week, a song called Aware. It's a little bit of a rocker. We're just going to do a lyric video for it. And then we've got one more already. The fundamentals of it is recorded. All the tracks are laid. We just got to get ready to go to post with it. And there's some little edits and some things that we're going to do to it. And then it'll be ready for mixing. So that one will probably be later in the year. We'll save that to see if maybe we can, there's some kind of live shows that happen this year. It's not looking that way, but you never know. This is America, and, people might start gathering and need some music, before the year's over. And but so for right now, or up to this point, it's been very limited, our get-togethers. Before the COVID thing came in, Randy had some health issues. He was battling pretty hard. And we got a little worried for him, but he's going to be all right. He's on the mend, back to work, and he's doing good. And about that time, then I got the COVID thing, and then I was down for about 2.5, 3 weeks. And so we couldn't get together during that period because I was quarantined. And then now nobody can do anything. So, everything's just kind of on hold. But thank God we recorded those 4 songs last year and got everything done, prior to this, except for that one song. And anybody that's a fan of Divide the Empire knows that we've done, our records have been 3 winters. We got volume 1 and 2 are already out. And this one coming up will be 3. And the way we've always done them is 7 songs on each record. That way we don't have to argue about how many songs. That's why it's named 3 Winters. So we made it up, and then we ain't got to worry about it no more. We ain't got to argue about titles for records. But when we started this, we said we're going to do 3 records, 7 songs, volume 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll figure out what Divide the Empire is going to do after that. If we're even going to, do anything at all, or if we're going to go our separate ways or whatever. And so we got 2 more songs to write. And we got the foundations for 2 really good ideas. And if we can ever get back together again, that's where we're at, is we're going to work on those. And Randy and I decided last night, we talked in our little meeting, and I think May 8th is going to be our first practice, full band back together again, everybody jamming. And so I'm sure probably by summer, we should have the rest of it written. And what we had done to this point was we'd go in and we'd record 7 songs and put out a 7-song record. And that's just not the way the business goes these days. So on volume 3, we tracked those 4, started putting them out, started doing singles. And then the way we're going to do it is once all 7 are done and out there, then we're going to compile it into a volume 3 and put it out as a record as well. So then we'll have 1, 2, and 3, and the trilogy will be complete. So
yeah. So I actually was cranking up listening to volume 2 on Spotify while I was getting ready today for this. So again, this killer record, man. I really like that one a lot. Mentioning Juan in the video, it made me think about when Carnival Ride came on and thinking of that video. And but that guy's he's a true visionary, man. It makes some beautiful work to add to a great song. And so I remember that both of those videos are great though. So if you haven't checked out Juan's work with Divide the Empire or any of these bands, I mean, you're definitely missing out because he makes some really great videos.
Yeah, now he's even got his own little facility.
Yeah,
where you can go make videos and stuff like that, and he's turning them out right now.
Right.
Last I saw, he was working with I can't remember the name of them guys. I just saw he just put something out yesterday.
Yeah, he's a hustler. He's always working with somebody.
He's a good dude, man. He's got a big heart. Really like him a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So I'm excited for some more new tunes and maybe that little cover video coming soon, I guess.
No, it came out this morning, baby.
Oh, it did. I missed it, man.
Yeah, we did Holding Back the Years by Simply Red.
All right.
something to comfort you.
Falling back the years, thinking of the fear I've had so long. When somebody hears, listen to the fear that's gone, strangled by the wishes of hoping for the arms of Maytime. Get to me sooner or later. Holding back the years, it's a chance for me to save you all I know. Holding back the tears, no, 'cause nothing here is wrong. Wasted all my tears, wasted all those years. Oh, if nothing had the chance to be good, oh, 'cause nothing ever was. Oh, keep holding on. I'll keep holding on. I will keep holding on. I'll keep holding on. Holding back the years, oh, think about the fear I've been so long. When somebody hears, it's a chance for you to stay for you know. I will keep holding on. 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 Wasted all the years, wasted all of my precious tears. When I never had a chance, never had a chance to be good. Well, nothing ever could.
Hold on, everybody. And
I'll have to go do something. Man, I missed my homework. I should have checked it out before we press record.
know your guests.
Yeah.
No, we didn't plan on. I just happened to bring the camera. I've got that Zoom Q8, and man, it's great for stuff like that. That's what you hear in that video is the audio captured. I brought it home and put a little bit of, brought up the levels a little bit and EQ'd it a little bit, but basically that's them 2 little stereo mics and just me and Randy in a room.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
I got a little Zoom H6 I've been using now, and I love it, man. I've been really happy with some of the live recordings I've been, especially the live performances and stuff that I've been able to record, and so trying to step my game up too. So
Right on.
yeah, but yeah, man. So check everything out. Like again, you can find Divide the Empire wherever you're getting digital music, and follow along on Facebook and Instagram with them too, and hopefully get some going. Hopefully get some shows this year. I know I did see some articles saying something about like the big ones. I'm guessing more of the amphitheater shows. It could be up to fall 2021, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I can wait a whole year and a half still for some shows again. But
They'll be. But I kind of already saw it coming down the pipe anyway. A lot of people are doing the house parties and stuff like that now, and I kind of see a lot more of that and a lot more of these live streams and stuff. I know right out of the gate, all the cover bands started doing the live streams with the tip jars and stuff like that. And,
yeah. I mean, but again, even going back to the podcasting, it's not the same. I mean, like, like it's fun. It works in a pinch like this, but man, it's you can't replace live music, and
the energy's not there.
Right. So I really hope we get back to being able to go out again soon, and because I'm getting a little stir crazy in here. So.
Right. Well, who isn't?
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Yeah. So you actually, you have a unique perspective on it, being that you actually, I guess, contracted this whole thing, right? So you were down for a couple of weeks, you said?
Yeah. I went down. It started with a headache. I was never able to take the test because I didn't have the fever. It just started with a headache, and then I got best way I can describe it is it felt like I had like fiberglass or broken glass in my throat. I was like, I had to cough, but I couldn't. There was nothing coming up. There was no phlegm or anything. But in general, I felt fine. I felt sick. I felt like I had something, but I felt like I could still function and do all my stuff. And that happened like at the end of 1 week. And so I said, well, I'll give myself the weekend and see. And that was really before all this the pandemic fear really hit our area. And by Monday, I was feeling like I had a fever. I really felt like I had a fever and all that. But if I took my temperature, I didn't have a fever. So I called my work, and they said, if you got symptoms, we don't, just stay home. Take the week and stay home, and we'll call us next week and we'll reevaluate it. So I stayed home and I started talking to people, and they're like, dude, you need to go to the emergency room. You need to get checked out. So I called the emergency room and I said, hey, I just wanted to ask them some questions, and just say, hey, I've got symptoms. And they said, well, talk to your primary care doctor. So then I go talk to my primary care doctor, and they said, don't come in here.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what do I do? And so then I started doing some research online, and of course, you know how that goes. I had cancer, and by the time I look at the WebMD, I've got gonorrhea, cancer, who knows what I got, and so a friend of mine said, well, if you've got insurance, why don't you do a virtual visit with a doctor and just talk to them? I was like, that's a great idea. So I did a virtual visit with this doctor from Johns Hopkins University Medical whatever, and he said, everything that you're telling me tells me that you have it. And I said, well, should I go get tested? He goes, you can if you want. He goes, but here's what they're going to do. They're going to test you, and then they're going to send you home and tell you not to leave your house for 14 days or until you have no symptoms for at least 72 hours. while you're waiting for the test, and then it could extend farther from there. I said, well, what are you telling me to do? What would you tell me to do? He said, I would tell you to go home for 14 days and don't leave your house. So I was just like, that's what I did, and he wrote me up a thing and to give to work or whatever. And before I could give that to work called and said, hey, we're going to furlough 132 people. And so they furloughed a bunch of people. I work in a machine shop. And so, yeah, I mean, I had 2 days where I really felt like hell.
Yeah.
Real bad days. But it was nothing that I hadn't felt with some other flu or anything like that. But that's just my experience. I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in decades, and I don't vape or anything like that. I have no respiratory issues other than just basic allergies.
Right.
But I see other people that get it, and they, like John Mold, our buddy John Mold.
Yeah.
He got it and he was down and out. I mean, it took him down, almost took him out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My friend, Joe Meyer, he's a drummer in town, and he, put some of it on his Facebook, some, updated live videos. Like, he was pretty, rough for a couple of days, but I think his story was kind of like yours, that he, stayed quarantined in his bedroom away from his family. And, it was a rough couple of days there, but in the middle, like overall, like, he just got through it. But it's scary stuff, man. I'm like, the fact that you're seeing all these numbers so it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, I think, this is probably not in some circles, this would be a popular opinion, in some circles, not so much, but it's kind of like when there's snowfall coming or a rainstorm coming and it hits Kansas. Well, our news around here starts ramping it up like it's going to be the storm of the century. So you keep tuning in, and so they can get their rating, advertising dollars. And
right.
With just the limited news, I try not to watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
But with the limited news I watch, that seems like really a lot of what was going on. And I'm not saying that the virus isn't real and it's not hurting people, because it absolutely is, but as far as the frenzy and the fear that's associated with it, I think a lot of that's media hype, or getting us hyped up, and, I don't believe in any big conspiracy or anything. I got a friend that says that the coronavirus was created so that they could take our firearms away from us. I'm like, okay, all right, man, whatever, but it's just a thing, I believe everything's a cycle. We have, we've had pandemics before. We've had, devastation before. Our economy's crashed before. We'll be all right if everybody just holds on and doesn't kill each other in the process.
Right.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. But yeah, man. It's just crazy times. But I think it does seem like, I guess we're kind of getting past it. So hopefully some things will start kind of getting back to normal by summer or something. I don't know, but who knows what'll happen. But
yeah. I've got a lot of friends that are in service industry. Like my girlfriend's a hairstylist, and I got a lot of friends that are tattoo artists and stuff like that. That they're like,
sure,
they're chomping at the bit to get back, but they want to be safe.
Yeah, we I work at the bar, and we've been shut down for the whole time, and they were doing carry out for a little while, and then they closed that at like March 21st or something like that, and they just couldn't justify it, I guess, anymore. And
how does the school district handle it? You still working for school district?
Yeah, still working at the school, and we've been off. One of those weeks was spring break. I think we had like all of it hit like the week before our spring break, and they sent us sent the kids home, and they sent us in to start disinfecting everything. And then we had the spring break week, and then we started. They put together like a spray crew to go in and like disinfect. We wiped everything down, disinfected by hand, and then they want us to go through with this other 2 different sprayers with some sort of different chemicals, and they spray everything down what we could, and then I was part of that crew for a little while, and then the announcement come out that they were holding off school until the end of April. And then, so they sent us home, and then they made the announcement that school was canceled for the rest of the year. So, I've been kind of hanging out. I mean, luckily we're still collecting a paycheck, so that's nice. I know a lot of people aren't, so I feel very blessed in that sense. That, it's if I didn't have that, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. So
yeah, well, now we can just expect 500 new Rock Paper Podcast episodes over the next 3 weeks, right?
Well, I would have been doing a lot of recording. I had a bunch of things on the calendar, but everybody bailed when all this shit hit, and they didn't have any shows to plug or anything else. So
right.
They didn't really have besides me and you getting to hang out, being buddies. A lot of people just wanted to plug their shows coming up and that kind of stuff, or new music, and everything got put on hold.
Everything's kind of on hold. But one cool thing I'm seeing is there's a lot of people that are. I know Gabe dropped a new track, and I think For the City's dropping one on the 24th. And Discrepancies dropped theirs, and that thing exploded. And everybody's putting out new stuff. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, might as well. They got nothing else going on, so people are going to need entertainment. We're burning through everything on Netflix and everything. So,
right.
What have you been you watching anything good on there?
Of course, I did the Tiger King thing when it first hit, and that was when I was down. That was my virus watching. I went through that.
That show, that was some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, train wreck. And the funny thing is I remember that guy's mugshot being on the news back when all that really happened, but I just kind of dismissed it. Right. And then when I started watching this, I'm like, oh, I see. So I've got like 4 that I'm late. I wasn't late on Ozark to begin with, but then when season 2 came out, I only got like 3 or 4 episodes in, and then just never got back to it until now. So I've just finished Ozark last week, which was cool. I kind of saw that one coming, saw the ending of that one coming.
I just started season 1. I saw everybody writing about it. I've known about it for a while, obviously, but I saw everybody writing about the end of season 3 and and all this stuff. And I was just like, well, I guess I better check this out, see what it's all about while I got some time. And so I started on season 1, and I think I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in now.
Well, I was on fire after season 1. I was like, man, especially the way it ends. And then season 2 started, and when I started watching it, I was kind of like, I'm a bit over it. But then I went back because my girlfriend finished season 2 before I did. And she said, you got to hang with it. And then sure enough, by the end of season 2, I'm back on fire again. And I plowed through season 3, I think in a day. I finished it in a day. That was good.
That's one thing I do like about those Netflix shows is that the way they're edited and everything and paced, like some are better than others, but the ending always hooks you to want to keep going and binging the next one and stuff kind of thing. So they do a really good job with that. It's always in the last couple of minutes, every episode, you're like, what the hell was that? And then you got to keep going.
Did you get to watch The Sinner?
The Sinner?
Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah, with Bill Pullman. Season 1 hooked me. Get back, baby. Season 1 has my dogs are trying to. What you want to be on? My season 1, Jessica Biel is the star, and she's the executive producer, which didn't make me go, oh my god, I got to watch it. But I was just bored one night, and I started watching it. And The Sinner, season 1 is amazing. It starts with a murder. You sit there and watch a murder happen, and then the rest of the season is them showing how what you saw really didn't happen. It's this detective goes in, and Bill Pullman's the detective, and just some of his best acting. It really is for me. And so that one was another one I was watching, and I just started Devs. You ever heard of the Devs?
No.
Who's the guy from Parks and Rec? the dude with the mustache,
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman. He plays like a kind of futuristic Bill Gates type of character. He's real shaggy and stuff like that, and he owns this company. And Devs is short for research and development, and they're like on the cutting edge of AI and time travel and stuff like that. And it is a really cool show. That one's on Hulu, FX on Hulu. Amazing show. Just started that one, but it's a thinker. If you're looking for casual, funny ha stuff, it ain't in that show. It's pretty deep stuff, but it's really cool.
Yeah. I got into watching this silly show with Stacy. She's all about these, like a lot of the more reality TV based ones, like she watches Teen Mom and Kardashians and that kind of stuff a lot. But we started watching this show called The Circle together on Netflix, and it was interesting. It was like, especially during quarantine. I don't think that they filmed it a long time ago, and I think it aired the beginning of January, but we just got to it, in March or something, I guess late March, and so it was really unique watching it as we're locked down, because that's the way the show is. Like they're in this like hotel apartment complex type of setting, and they're all like stuck in their rooms, and the only contact they have is through social media, and they can connect to these people. They're also in the other rooms, but so you can either be yourself or you can be a character and like catfish somebody, and so like and then like they go through all these different things, but so it was interesting to see how people played it, if they played it as themselves or if they played it as the catfish, and then like
but it's a reality show.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like but
scripted reality.
No, it was. I don't think anything was scripted. I mean, maybe they set up some of the stuff, but it wasn't like. But it was, you're sitting here listening to them as they're like each. It's like all like cameras, like security camera type of shots and stuff as they're like in their rooms and stuff and dealing with all this.
Like a Big Brother type thing.
Yeah, type of that. Like it's kind of like that too, and. So I don't know. It wasn't great, but it was something to watch while you're in lockdown like this. So it was fun. I mean, there was some good drama and some moments where, especially like the suspense, because then like they changed it. Like once they always like would cut somebody at the end of every episode, and then like that person, they had a chance to go to the other person's room that like or whatever. So then you would find out if they were them or not and stuff. So anyway, and then like people started, hooking up and all that kind of stuff. And like,
of course.
Yeah. So, it was entertaining though. But
we started a bunch of friends. I think I invited you too. We started like a movie club.
Yeah. Like
a group on Facebook. And we started doing the, American Film Institute's 100 greatest movies, and we started at 100. And I think by 97, we lost. It's a cat, okay? They exist. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay, guys. But I think number 97, I think, was Ben-Hur, which is like 3 hours and 42 minutes of Charlton Heston, over dramatics, and I think we lost everybody at that one. Yeah. But it got, I think it got into the 90s or low 90s, and so that was kind of cool. What I mean? Just movies that you always hear about, that you never took the time to actually sit down and watch.
I just did that with Indiana Jones. They're all four of them are on Netflix right now, and I went and started over. Like I think I know I've seen them like at least in parts, but
never sat and watched them.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. The first one especially was pretty boring to me. Like some of those movies, like just don't necessarily. I mean, there's like some of it was all right, but like there was a lot of slow pacing in it, and so I don't know. I feel like those movies are pretty well celebrated. But like I remember like sitting there watching. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty bored in this right now. So
what movie keeps you interested? What is it? Are you like a Fast and Furious guy to where from the opening scenes of the movie it's car chases all the way through? Or
I mean, yeah, those are fun. I mean, like, I don't think they're great movies or anything, but they're entertaining. They're just the car chases and explosions and stuff. But I mean, like, I don't know, some movies just hold up a lot better than others. I recently went back and watched Step Brothers. I haven't watched that in a while.
Oh yeah,
and I was just
classic.
Yeah, just laughing the whole time. Again, that movie's 10 years old now or more, and still just as funny. So maybe even funnier. I don't know. Like and Dumb and Dumber is another one that, like, every time I watch it, it gets funnier. So
yeah, I tried to turn my my girlfriend's daughter. I guess she was 10 at the time. I tried to turn her on to Tommy Boy, and I thought she would just laugh her butt off the whole time. And she said it was the stupidest movie she ever seen in her life.
Yeah.
Like, come on, But
yeah, that reminds me of my dad. Like, he was, I'm all about that era of SNL. That Farley and Spade and Sandler, and like those are all my guys. Like, I love all their movies too. And but my dad, like, always like thought that Farley and Sandler were like some of the worst movies and stuff like that. And so
this is unpopular opinion. It's hard for me to watch Adam Sandler movies. There's a couple of them that I really like, but
I'm talking Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, the early classics. After that, like, I mean, there's a bunch of them that weren't that great, but especially any of the latest ones. But the early ones were.
Big Daddy was about my favorite. That was about my favorite.
Yeah, it's a classic for sure. But yeah, anyway, it's just funny how, like, some hold up and some don't, man. Like, and for me, just but I can imagine, like, something like Ben-Hur where, sitting for 3 hours like that, like, that'd be it's very well celebrated, but I don't know that I could sit through what today,
Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed from it, I was trying to find in each of the movies, I was trying to find the good part, you know what I mean? What's so celebrate? And the one thing that really impressed me about Ben-Hur wasn't so much because the story's kind of janky. They just kind of take Bible stories and smash it together with a superhero gladiator type of guy story, was the fact that there's no CGI. So when you're looking at a Coliseum full of thousands and thousands of people, you're looking at a Coliseum full of thousands and thousands of people and a chariot race, and the director had to control all that stuff, and that was impressive to me, and I'm sure there's sets and tricks they play, but especially during the chariot race scene, I was impressed, but 3 hours and 42 minutes worth of impressed? No, not so much.
Yeah, I tried to do the same thing while watching that Indiana Jones, like, just the fact that this is recorded, filmed in 80 or whatever, 80, I think 81, the original came out. And so you try to put yourself in that setting and, like, be prior to all the, special effects that we have today. And so there's some things that I thought were good, but then there's others that you're like, oh man, that, like, it just doesn't work. It's hard to it just, they were primitive technology at that time trying to do some of the special effects they were doing. So
yeah. So are you the type of guy, can you go back and watch like the old black and white flicks?
I mean, it depends on what it, like, I just connect more to comedies. So, like, I mean, Young Frankenstein, I definitely will, anything Mel Brooks and those movies, those make me laugh. And, or Stooges, I can still watch any of those and, that kind of stuff. So it's not really, I don't really have a problem with black and white. It's just a matter of, I guess that, if it's funny, it's still funny to me. So, like, I connect again, the comedy is where I connect to. The stories and sometimes are hard for me. More of the serious ones, I just, just hard to
I love I love mysteries. Those are about my favorite. You know, I even watch the old Sherlock Holmes flicks from the 40s, 30s, and 40s and stuff like that, and I just love them. It bums me out because I've seen them all so many times. It's like, you know, I know who did it, you know, and but yeah, I love a good mystery. That's about my favorite.
I saw a funny headline right before we pressed record, and I thought I'd bring it up to you because I thought you would appreciate it. But the headline said that a man shot himself in the penis while robbing a Chicago hot dog stand.
I read that same one just a few minutes before we started talking. But I got to ask, the irony of the hot dog stand and shooting yourself in the junk. I mean, that, you know, when that hot dog stand, when the crime scene tape is removed, they're going to have a hot dog named, you know, the blown tip or something. You know what I mean? You know, they're going to have to come up with something.
Right.
You know, I mean, I will.
Yeah, there's so many questions just in that headline. Like, I mean, why are you robbing a hot dog stand of all places? You know, but yeah, I don't know that they'd be carrying that much cash. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
I get. Yeah. I mean,
but have you seen any other dumb headlines or news stories like that? I mean, besides Tiger King, I mean, those was right at the top of the headlines of dumbness. But
no, like I said, I really don't pay attention to too much. I mean, I see some funny stuff on Facebook, you know, and stuff like that, but I kind of generally lump it all into, it's all fake news. You know. You know, there's always some story headline coming up, but no, I can't think of anything else top of my head. But that's the one. As soon as you said headline, you didn't even tell me which one, and that's the one that popped in my head because I just read that a minute ago.
Well, I think it's funny. It's Chicago too. That sounds like usually something that happens in Florida. You know, it's like that. Usually, the people from Florida are usually some good for headlines like that.
Well, my question on that one is how's he holding the gun that's what gets shot?
Yeah.
You know, what's he doing? Why is it pointed there? Yeah. You know, so
I don't know, man. Maybe I can get him on the show to talk about it.
There you go. There you go.
Try to reach out.
Yeah. So what is the future for Rock Paper Podcast? Are you going to do some more of this?
Yeah, actually, I got a couple set up for today since I'm gonna give this a try. So I think I'm meeting with another guy who does a show called How to Make the Perfect White Russian podcast, and he reached out, and we haven't met, but he reached out and wanted to collaborate and do some kind of cross promotion thing. So I was like, yeah,
that's cool.
So I'm gonna meet him on here soon, and then as far as like future, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to do this, I guess. And I did meet up with my buddy JC yesterday and recorded one that I posted today. And we recorded at his house. I was like,
yeah, I saw the promo for that.
Yeah. I'm like, figured we'll, maintain our 6 feet and still be able to record. And so,
yeah.
We didn't hug.
You just get one of them long boom mic stands like they do in Fox 2 in the morning now.
Right. So I don't know.
Well, I'd like to have you on my show at some point if you'd be willing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'd be honored.
Okay.
So you name it, time and place, I'll be there, buddy.
Sounds cool. You know where I'm recording, so you know the spot.
Yeah. Joe, this has been a ton of fun getting to hang with you, buddy. I appreciate you doing this. And again, find everything Crushercast and Divide the Empire online. Get plugged in with all those things. And but yeah, man, I really hope we get back to having some shows this year because it's been a long time since I've seen DTE. I don't even know. It might even be in Ink Spot. I don't know, man. It's been a long time.
It's probably last year's Ink Spot. It was probably last time you saw us because I think we only did 2 other shows after that.
Right.
Last year.
So yep, been too damn long. So hopefully we can fix that sometime soon.
Sweet. I'll bring you some Little Debbie's and buy you a pizza again.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for having me.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah.